Oh, hello, YouTube. Long time no see. Okay, maybe not that long. I have decided to post another Cadillac update for you guys. I've got some good news and some bad news concerning the Caddy, and don't worry, the bad news is not as bad as you think. I'll just give you the bad news first. The bad news is the Cadillac still is not running, and we're still having problems with the wiring. As you can plainly see, the wiring for all the headlight switches and all that is still a work in progress. But it's not really for the switch. What the problem is, the front parking lights for my Cadillac do not work, and my climate control system does not work either. There is a short in the fuse panel somewhere. Every time I replace the fuse, listen to me very, very carefully and read my lips. Replacing the fuse, replacing any fuse that powers the climate control and or parking light area will not work because there is a short somewhere in the wiring, which causes the fuse that I replace to pop or blow or something like that. And me and my stepdad are trying to fix it. Okay, I'm being very clear on this. I don't want to call the guy a moron, but some Joe or weirdo on YouTube told me that, oh, it's probably the fuse. Did you try checking the fuse and changing the bulbs? Well, sir, I'm going to say that I did. I tried all of that and did not work. Didn't work. And my car is still in a bit of a, rough state, but she runs. And that's just all that matters right now, I guess. I mean, we had to take out all the switches. Like this, look at this big old bitch. This is the headlight switch of a 1980s Cadillac. Look how big this thing is. It is so big. It's like pulling out, oh my god, it's like a major body organ of the Caddy or something like that. I don't know. Look at this thing. It plugs in two different ways. It plugs in through here and here. And you have to screw it in really good, and then you can pull it, do the Sentinel setting, time setting, Twilight Sentinel. Then we got your easy-to-use cruise control switch. Very easy to use. You just flip it on and use the resume accelerator thing right here. And there you go, cruise control, 55, 65 miles an hour on the highway. And of course, the replacement wiper switch that I bought for Christmas. And boy, oh boy, look how great this is. It works. I had to buy it. It was, the parts are interchangeable, 80s Cadillac parts. The other one got really messed up because it was soldered poorly or whatever, but this one is in really great shape. I got a voltmeter for my 28th birthday to test it with, and I'm not really good at using a voltmeter yet because I suck with wires. We have these diagrams that we got that my stepdad printed, and they're not all for an 89 Brougham. Some of them are for an 80s Cadillac Seville or a 90s Seville. I don't know. My stepdad is not very good at finding certain schematics. He's great with fixing wires, but not very good with, I guess, finding us schematics for an 89 Cadillac Brougham base model. But so far, I've been trying to keep this car well maintained. It has not been easy. I've been taking apart the dashboard left and right. But everything still kind of works. Horn works. It runs. I'm not going to start it, but but there's been some electrical glitches. Like if you, look at this. The level ride thing will come on, but it will not turn off. Sometimes it'll turn off by itself and then turn back on again. And the fuel gauge, look how much it's reading. I do not have that much gas in my tank. I have maybe, 3 gallons of fuel in there, maybe 4 at most, 3.5, who knows. The fuel gauge is not being very accurate because it's obviously an electrical problem. But the car will start. Right now I cannot start her because I'm in the midst of charging the battery, and, we can always run it next YouTube video I do. I got a surprise in store, of course, when I run it. The cracks in this thing have gotten a hell of a lot worse. This door panel, just this section right here, the armrest section needs to be replaced. So it's not going to be easy trying to replace that sucker. Let's check out the outside of the car, and be warned, she's a little filthy. Now, for my 28th birthday, I had received a new set of Cadillac front body fillers. These are made out of solid fiberglass. I painted them myself. These are not cheap and flimsy, but however, They may be a lot stronger and they may last longer, but these were a pain in the ass to install. It was like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole type situation. It was a pain. They weren't flexible. They were very stiff. I had to drill all those holes. I got fiberglass all on my skin, and I had to cut the section in here, inside of here, down to size a lot. You can't really see it because of the bumper, but I did. It was a nightmare installing these puppies. A real nightmare. Painting them was easy. I painted them with the GM spray paint, and it wasn't really that bad. Painting actually did very well. But they're body fillers, so that you can't expect them to be perfect. Did the same for this one on the other side. Now the painting, even you have to look nice and close. The paint is a little uneven here, but there's really nothing I can do. But I installed them both, and now they're both in, and there's no more arguments. They're a little crooked or uneven right here at the bottom, but at least I just managed to get them to fit. I know they're not perfect, but they're front body fillers, and you hardly notice. It's a restoration project that I had to do with my bare fingers. I have not installed the new white wall tires yet, so I have yet to do that. The new white wall tires are still inside the trunk. These tires only have one good trip left in them, and they are bald. Oh, shit, they are bald. They're not doing too bad. You know, I mean, the tires are still holding up. I guess all I have to do is air them up, and, before I'm ready to drive this thing to the tire place. As you can see, I removed the rear body fillers and the taillight housings. It was hard to remove the taillights because the bolts were so rusted. All I have to do is clean in this area, order the new rear body fillers, paint them blue, and put them in. They'll probably be the same material as the front ones. But in the meantime, you know, some things you just have to wait. All I have to do is find a way to get $80 and order them off eBay. Easy. Now, I need to also find some nuts that'll fit these screws. So far, we don't have any in the garage that'll fit. And I'll probably have to go to the Home Depot or something. I do know that the replacement ones I'm getting do already have holes drilled in them for this section. And that actually hopefully will make them easier to install. As far as everything goes, the car is still a little bit of a mess. She's kind of filthy, you know, and all that, but she runs. She'll start up for you. You know? Let me adjust the camera here. Please excuse the dirt on the seats. I mean, this car is usually always clean, but, you know, my stepdad, being the maggot that he is, he's been forcing me to, if I don't want my car cover on my car, he's been forcing me to put it in the back seat of my car or whatever, or in the trunk, but my trunk is full of new tires and stuff, so I can't really, you know, fit anything. I mean, it's a really big trunk. You can fit 5 bodies in here, but I think the 4 new tires that I just bought already pretty much rented this trunk out, so I don't think I can rent any more in there. No vacancy, of course. Now, as far as everything goes, I mean, the interior is still in pieces, but it's a little bit better than it was. Another thing that I aim to fix on this Cadillac is this. The steering column is loose like a loose tooth. It is really annoying. And I heard that somebody on the phone, I think a mechanic I called, told me that I have to take the steering wheel off and replace a couple of plastic screws, or maybe I have to tighten a couple of metal ones. I don't know. I mean, this is a steering column that goes up and down, in and out. It is also telescopic, as you've seen from my other videos. So that's just how it is. But I guess since it's a 3-way steering wheel and it's so big and heavy, it requires, over time, it just becomes like a loose tooth. It's really annoying. So far, this Cadillac is still a restoration project. And the way she's sitting right now, it's been hurting me really bad, just seeing her like this. I mean, look at all these little cracks in the window sweeps. Ordering a new set of window sweeps is going to be hard. It's just as hard as the body fillers. And look at this. All these little cracks that you see in my vinyl top. These little crescent-shaped cracks. We had a hailstorm and a tornado. And that hailstorm completely fucked up my car's roof. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, man. All those little cracks. I mean, every car restoration company I'll call, it's going to cost like, I don't know, $1,200 or $800 to come completely restore the vinyl top, the entire vinyl top on this car. And that really, really burns my ass to no end. It just burns it really bad because I'm not rich. I don't have a job yet. I'm still trying to get one, and I'm still living with my parents, unfortunately. And fixing this car up is a real pain in the ass. There's lots of other body fillers I have to get. I'm going to have to get a new one of these. Even though it looks like there's nothing wrong, I still have to replace it. And I also have to replace this one. New cracks are starting to form. You can see these little indentations. Oh, see, there's a crack right there. This crack was caused by Mother Nature in the wintertime, ice and snow. And here's another one. You can barely see, but it's forming right there when I press down on it. Oh, and a little chunk came off this one when I was installing the body filler, so this is not going to be easy work. Now, under the hood, there's a little something I have to show you that I was able to fix, finally. The power steering pulley, every single time I would run this car, it would squeak really loud and would be annoying as hell. But your old pal Aaron here has finally got this thing to stop squeaking. And how, you may ask? How was I able to tighten this thing? Well, there is a bolt down here, if you look closely, if you can see it. Here, let me turn on the light. It's right, okay, hang on. Right there, see where my finger is? There's a little bolt right there you have to loosen. And how was I able to pull this tight? Well, first of all, I had to remove the alternator, loosen the bolt down there, and I had to use a crowbar, big old crowbar, to pull that sucker tight. And then, while I'm holding it tight, I had to tighten it with a wrench, and it was a pain in the ass, but I finally got it. And as soon as I started this car back up, no more belt squeaking. It was a nightmare. All my neighbors were annoyed by it, and, it would take forever for the belt to get a grip to stop squeaking, but I finally did it. Now, as you can see, I am charging my defective car battery. I've had it for 2 years, and I wore it out when my ignition coil, there's a distributor in there somewhere where the ignition coil had to be replaced because it got worn out that one time when it stalled. Right now my car is charging, and it is at, it says 72%, but it actually should say a bit more than that here. Sometimes you got to restart it. Okay, it's on. Let's see how much it says. Now it says 95% for some weird reason. I found that hard to believe, but hey, it's working. Didn't have it charging that long, did I? Well, anyways, we're just still going to let it charge. But this Schumacher, LOL, Schumacher brand charger actually works. It's good for boats and RVs and golf carts and, of course, motorcycles and cars. And hey, it was worth it. I got it for Christmas. My stepdad, the prick that he is, he was nice enough to actually get me one. I don't mean to badmouth him, but a lot of times he's stubborn. But at least he felt bad for me and had to change a heart, so at least that helps. Okay, so all in all, my Cadillac is still a work in progress, like I said. She runs, but I cannot drive her anywhere, especially not on those tires. God, no. If I ever tried to run her on these tires, or drive her on these tires around too much, they'll just go flat, you know? I'm saving these tires for one last trip, and that trip is for the tire shop. Now, right here, as you can plainly see, I have installed a new... not installed, pardon me. I have just, for my, I guess my 27th birthday or something like that, I got a new set of white wall tires. These tires are Milestar white walls. They were blue wall tires. I cleaned the white wall part off. You can still see a little bit of blue, I guess. But it wouldn't really matter. I can always clean them again. I tire shine them and all that. They're holding it together really well and all that. I put a blanket in the trunk to keep it from getting filthy. Ow! Shit. There's still body parts for the body fillers right here. Like this is like the metal railing or the metal washer for the old filler and all that. And I saved that for the rear fender stuff right here. Here's the other one. Hubcaps to the wrecked LeBaron that's sitting in our driveway. These hubcaps are for sale. $40 a piece. If you want to buy them, they're yours. Or maybe 20 a piece, who knows. So far, the automatic trunk latch works. You just give it a little... little close, and it works. Anyways, YouTube, this has been a really rough 3 years for me since I bought the car. Almost 4 years. I have been working on this car as much as I possibly can, and still, these front parking lights will not turn on no matter what I do. I mean, you can use like a special voltmeter or a battery thing with an alligator clip and touch it to the module in there, and they'll turn on. But we can't figure out which wire it is yet, so we still have a long ways to go. Well, YouTube, hopefully one of these days this car will rule the road once again. I'm not giving up on her. Cobalt is my one and only car. I will never sell her. I will never, ever let anything bad happen to her. Alright, everybody, I'll see you later, YouTube. Stand by for the next update. Next time, I will run my car and let you listen to the quietness of the engine without fan belt squeals.